everyone, welcome back to my channel. I first and foremost want to apologize for my absence. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. I last left off at my update for 4 to 6 weeks pregnant, and a lot further along now. I'm going to be 13 weeks on Wednesday of this week, but I did want to go ahead and push these videos out. So this video and the next one are going to be in 3-week increments, so I'm going to do 7, 8, and 9 weeks in this video, as well as 10, 11, and 12 in the next video. My main reason for my absence is that, as you guys know in my previous video, I let you guys know that I had a pretty severe subchorionic hemorrhage, and it didn't just stop there at 6 weeks. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So again, as I was stating, I had a pretty severe subchorionic hemorrhage, so I was passing some pretty sizable clots, tissue, spotting. I had been spotting ever since 4.5 weeks, and I had a pretty heavy bleed, I think around like 5 weeks. And then I was diagnosed with 5.5 weeks, and I was diagnosed with a subchorionic hemorrhage on August 12th. Via ultrasound. There were several. If you guys, care to click into that video, it's my 4 to 6 week update, and I show you guys exactly where and what the subchorionic hemorrhage looks like. And if you'd like, I'll try to remember to link it in the description box below. But as far as the way these updates are going to go, I kind of want to talk about the size of the baby and the things that are going on with the baby, and then go into symptoms and eventually do bump dates, obviously this week's video, and I think I'm gonna upload the next video here in a couple of days. That way I can get it up to you guys as soon as possible, and then you guys will be completely caught up. So as far as bump shots, I'm not going to show you my bump in this video, and probably not the next video either. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe the next video, because it'll include my 12 weeks and I'm technically not 13 weeks yet. So yeah, so I think I'll post that video on Wednesday to give you guys my 10 through 12 week update. I have pregnancy brain, so that's definitely one of my symptoms as of right now in week 12, but we're not doing week 12, so week 7. So at 7 weeks, the baby is the size of a blueberry. The eyes are forming, so everything still looks pretty much like a blob in there, and I don't think I have do I have? Yes, I do have a 7-week, 4-day ultrasound where you guys can see where the subchorionic hemorrhage has started to shrink, and I'll show that to you in just a moment. But as far as my symptoms are concerned, frequent urination, hot flashes, my boobs started to get sore again, and I was having some severe nausea. As I stated previously, some spotting and clots continue. I have vivid dreams, and I ended up starting Crenone. So if you guys aren't familiar with Crenone, it is a progesterone cream suppository. It already comes pre-packaged, and it's already preloaded in the syringe. So it's just like if you've had a yeast infection and had to use Monistat. Normally you put the cream into the applicator, and then, or the suppository into the applicator, and put it up into your vagina and kind of plunge it. That's the same thing with Crenone, so I was really happy to be on that. Had I known that my insurance covered it fully, I would have started on it instead of being on progesterone injections, because I ended up having a severe allergic reaction to the progesterone and oil for whatever reason. I didn't have a reaction in my previous pregnancy with Tamsin, my daughter. But again, for whatever reason, I ended up having, a pretty significant hot spot. And it was just a massive amount of muscle that ended up getting severely inflamed. So I could not inject in that side. It was my left side, and then I ended up getting the same thing on my right side. So I don't know if I've never hit a nerve, and we always draw back, and by we, my husband would administer the progesterone and oil injections. But there was never any blood, so I never thought that, I was putting it in the wrong spot. And I even showed where we were administering it, and, my RE as well as my OB, agreed that we were doing it right. It's not like it's the first time we've ever done it. So, but anyways, long story short, we started on Crenone, and I was taking it in the morning and the evening, sorry, not afternoon. And then as far as my ultrasound goes, again, I was at 7 weeks, 4 days. And at this point, I ended up transitioning from I think I said this in my last video, I was no longer with my RE, but I was still communicating with them to let them know what was going on so that they would be on the same page. And yeah, I felt a lot more comfortable being with my OB. I've had a long history with him. He listens to me, and I don't just feel like a number. I feel like a person. So that speaks volumes to me. And so he was doing weekly ultrasounds to make sure that baby was okay, and monitoring my subchorionic hemorrhage. So I'll go ahead and show you what baby looks like at 7 weeks, 4 days, and then you can see that my hemorrhage actually has gone away. You can no longer see it. It was right up here on the top here. It's just a little sliver of a line where it's black right there. And then this one is just another picture, and you can kind of see the hemorrhage right there. So, so baby was measuring right on track on all of my ultrasounds, and doing really well. So I was really excited about that, and it definitely gave me a sense of peace, and set my mind at ease, and I wasn't as nervous every single week. So it was nice to be able to have those frequent ultrasounds. Moving right along to 8 weeks pregnant. 8 weeks, the baby is the size of a kidney bean, has fingers and toes, and the knees and hands are flexed. So baby is pretty much at the point where they can make fists, but they're still working on their coordination. As far as my symptoms go, I had some pretty rough symptoms. I still had the frequent urination. I was starting to get really, really tired. The spotting still continued. I was still having vivid dreams, and my nausea was full force, gung-ho. I've been pretty consistently nauseous since, I would say, about 7 weeks is when it started to amp up. And then I also had what I've never really had before, which was pubic bone pain. So right at, where the bone is in your vagina, it almost felt like it was burning for whatever reason. I'm not really sure, but I just wrote it down because it was one of my symptoms. It was something new, and I had never experienced it before. And then I didn't really have much else going on in 8 weeks. We were still tracking my subchorionic hemorrhage, and since it had shrank, we ended up not doing a ultrasound that week. So I waited another week until I had another ultrasound, just to make sure, my hemorrhage was going away and baby was still doing well, and it wasn't threatening a miscarriage like I had been labeled, which is never fun to be labeled as a threatened abortion or a miscarriage, which I think is kind of crazy how they call it an abortion, but c'est la vie. That's life. I guess 9 weeks, we'll go ahead and give you that update. 9 weeks, the baby is the size of a grape. Its teeth are forming and has 4 chambers of a heart instead of 3 now. And the placenta is developed enough to take over. So technically I could have stopped taking both progesterone and estrogen, but I ended up continuing it since I switched from progesterone oil to Crenone. I ended up continuing that, and also estrogen. So I was given a deadline of 10.5 weeks. And since we increased my or changed my prescription, we increased the amount of time that I was on the supplements. So at 8 weeks, there was no more spotting. The nausea continued, still frequently urinating. Insomnia started in week 9. I was not expecting to have insomnia quite yet, so I'm waking up a couple times at night. So I usually go to sleep when my daughter goes to sleep because I lay down with her. We co-sleep with her. We've tried you know, transitioning her into her own bed. She has her own toddler bed. We tried, you know, sidecarring it with our bed, and she always wakes up in the middle of the night crying and comes to bed with me. So it's just inevitable for her to be in our bed, and we're okay with that. It works for us. So if it doesn't work for you, you know, no judgment here on my end, and hopefully none from you. But this is just what works for us for now. Let's see, what else? Oh, so we had another ultrasound, and I finally got to not only see but hear the heartbeat. So my OB does not like to put the Doppler from the ultrasound on any babies under 9 weeks. And this is due to their technology being a lot more advanced than just an at-home Doppler. Speaking about home Doppler, I will get into that in just a second. But it's a lot more stronger, and they say that if it's done multiple times, that it could end up having an impact, a negative impact, and possibly burn a hole in the baby's heart. So they don't like to use it early in order to hear. They like to keep the waves off of the baby. So I respected that, and I just went with what my OB advised. So that's what my practice that I go to believes in. So I listen and respect him wholeheartedly. So your office that you go to might be different, but it is what it is. So let's see, this would have been 8/29. I think that's a Wednesday. Oh no, I can't remember the day. 9 weeks, 1 day. So it was a Thursday. So August 29th, 2019, I went in for another ultrasound, and I finally got to hear the heartbeat. And you can still see where the yolk sac is still with baby, and it looks like a halo. So I think it's super cool that I was able to, the ultrasound was able to capture that. So I think it looks really cute. But this was baby at 9 weeks and 1 day, and there's no more subchorionic hemorrhage. So here is the yolk sac. This is baby's head, hands, body, and then feet. And then this around it is the amniotic sac. So I think that's really cool. I was super excited to be able to see that. So that's all I have for my 7 through 9 week update. So as I was stating, as far as the home Doppler, I do have one. I've had one ever since I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was able to find the heartbeat on the home Doppler. I'll insert a clip after this and let you guys see how I was able to find it. In the beginning of your pregnancy, it's really hard to find, so don't get discouraged, and you know, keep trying. It didn't take me that long because I knew where to look. Usually it's right above your pubic bone, to the right or to the left. Just depends on where your baby implanted. But generally, most pregnancies are on the right-hand side. So I would say within a good inch or so above your pubic bone, and then go over to the right and kind of, you know, tilt your Doppler in a downward motion. So it kind of tilts towards your pubic bone, not necessarily on your pubic bone, but you want to turn it and tilt it towards your pubic bone. If you guys want to see, I guess, a review or a tutorial on how to locate baby on a Doppler, then please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll, you know, do my best to show you guys how I find my baby on the Doppler, and hopefully give some tips and tricks, and you guys can find yours. But as I said, if you're not able to find it and you're in the beginning stages of pregnancy, a lot of women can't find it until after 12 weeks. So don't get discouraged, and don't think there's anything wrong with your baby, and consult your doctor if you feel any type of alarm or, you know, question, you know, what's going on with your baby. But a lot of them will say don't use an at-home Doppler. So, you know, it's really at your discretion. So I think that's all I have to cover. You know, if you guys have any questions or, you know, concerns or, you know, tips and tricks, and you guys want to know some additional things that I didn't cover, and, you know, feel free to ask in the comment box below. I am I've stated previously, I'm an open book. I don't mind sharing my experiences. We all learn and grow from each other. So this is the type of community that I really love. I love the TTC journey community and everyone that has gone through IVF or frozen embryo transfers. We're all one big happy family. So it's really nice to be able to talk to one another and bounce ideas off of one another. And, if we're having a bad day or, even a good day, it's nice to be able to watch individuals' videos and, feel some sense of peace and hope if we're, struggling in the infertility area. I know I struggled for a really long time, and a lot of you that have been following for a long time, since the beginning, you guys all know that it took us over 7 years to get our daughter, and we went through a lot of treatment and a lot of different procedures to get to that point. So, a lot of heartache. Yeah, so I can definitely relate, and I know what it feels like. So if you're going through that, I do sympathize with you, and I know what it feels like. So just know that you're not alone. And again, feel free to reach out to me if you want to get to know me. I would love to get to know you as well. And thanks always for watching. I appreciate all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope that you'll continue to join and learn about our journey and watch our baby grow. Oh, I forgot to say, I ended up doing my NIPT blood test, and we got the results back, and baby is low risk for any type of chromosomal abnormalities. So that was such a huge relief to hear. And we did find out gender. By we, I mean my husband found out gender, and my mother knows the gender. I am wanting to be team green. I don't want to find out gender until the baby is born. As majority of you guys know that have suffered infertility, and you get to experience IVF or frozen embryo transfers, it takes a lot of the surprise out of your experience. So I would like to relinquish some of that and give that back to me. So it would be nice to be able to make it the entire pregnancy without knowing. I'm not sure if I'll make it. Sometimes I want to know, and sometimes, I don't. So it's kind of nice being able to build that relationship without really knowing what I'm having. And then sometimes I'm like, well, it's an it. I don't know what sex it is. So it is what it is. So we'll see how that goes and see if my mind changes. But as of now, we're team green. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here because I'm just rambling. But I'll go ahead and insert a clip of the Doppler so you can hear the heartbeat. So it's amazing, and I hope that you guys one day get to hear it too. And if you have already heard it before, then you know how amazing the sound is. So yeah, so I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you so much for watching. Can't talk. Pregnancy brain and pregnancy vocabulary. It is what it is. You'll see. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're new here, I hope you consider subscribing. I would love to have you join our journey for baby number 2. And again, thank you to my avid followers. I know you guys have been here for a long time, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for following us along on this journey. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss another video that I upload. I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye!